Let's talk about marketing and SEO.
Yeah, we got Mordy Oberstein on the podcast. Mordy. All right. So you were the previous head of comms at Semrush. You basically like made Wix. I don't know. Maybe it was already. You can tell me. Maybe it was already SEO friendly, but you made people realize it was SEO friendly.
Both at the same time. It was
Okay.
not SEO friendly.
Oh, it was not, and you made it SEO friendly. And
I
then
didn't make it. I mean, I had input, but a friend of mine was his name is Nati Elimelech, was the head of SEO product, and he made it SEO friendly, and I just told people about it.
Okay. And you're still working with Semrush.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a comms advisor.
And you post really, really good SEO things on X and LinkedIn. You really do. And actually, I think you came referred to the podcast by David Quaid. He's like, yeah, Mordy Oberstein is somebody.
David, sweet.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah.
So he's been on the show twice. Actually, my most viewed guest podcast was with David a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago or something. So he's like, yeah, Mordy Oberstein is like post some awesome stuff, and I hit you up and here. Can you share more about yourself?
Yeah, I like long walks on the beach. I don't like beaches. I grew up across the street from a beach. I don't like sand. Is that weird? That's weird.
I like beaches. I want to be on a beach.
I'm not against the water part. I think it's the sand part that bothers me. But no, I started off originally my SEO career. I was at a company called Rank Ranger, which no longer kind of exists. It got bought out by SimilarWeb. It was back in the day when there was a gazillion rank trackers, Pro Rank Tracker, Accurate Rank Tracker, this Rank Tracker, SEO Monitor, and now they're all gone. And Rank Ranger got bought out by SimilarWeb. I don't know when. I'm not good with time. So I helped build up their brand, and then
were you at SimilarWeb?
No, I feel like I should have got this is a spicy take. I feel like I should have got a cut.
Yeah.
Because I built up that brand from nothing. You can literally see it if you plug in Rank Ranger into Semrush and you look at the branded searches, it goes from 0 to 500 a month.
Really?
Yeah.
You helped do the marketing that got the branded searches from 0 to 500 a month?
It's the only person on the marketing
my gosh.
team, basically. No, it wasn't only me. It was a good product. There was a lot of other
Product
people.
is
Yeah. But I'm saying for the marketing side, yeah.
You should have gotten a
But
cut.
I'm happy for them. They're good people. So I'm happy that they got bought out.
I used to use SimilarWeb all the
absorbed.
time. Rank Ranger, and I've heard of Rank Ranger too. That's cool.
Doesn't exist. I think they absorbed it into SimilarWeb. So I don't think it.
But and then
standalone.
wait, is it called SimilarWeb now?
Yeah, it's still SimilarWeb.
No, what was it? It was SimilarWeb bought. I don't remember. Before SimilarWeb, there was something that so because now I think help a reporter out, you need to have like a SimilarWeb score of like under 1 million in order to post as a publisher on help a reporter out. And before that, it was I can't remember. It was actually an Amazon property. Started with an A, I think. But
Above Rank?
No.
Whatever?
No.
That one's gone too. Now we're just going down an old school SEO.
So you have you've been in SEO for a long time, and now you're at Semrush.
Yeah, I was a consultant. I don't know officially. I'm not a Semrush employee, but yeah, I advise Semrush because Semrush are great.
And you are on Barry Schwartz Search Engine Roundtable podcast.
You had Barry on.
I did. Yeah, and he's coming on
Mr. Personality himself. He's coming on again?
Yeah, he's coming on again in December.
Okay. Make sure he smiles.
I'll try.
Yeah,
he did.
Tell him to be happy.
I actually think he smiled once on our podcast in March, and I'm like, yes. In my mind, I'm like, wow, it was like a completely different feeling to see him smile.
He's such a nice. First off, Barry is legitimately a nice, good person, and he's such a good sport with the trolling. When there was SMX in Boston in June, so I love this at conferences. I don't know, we're like completely off the rails.
It's okay.
No one asked for your ID. I can show up and just say, I'm so-and-so. So I said, hi, I'm Barry Schwartz.
Yeah, really?
And they gave me, I still have it upstairs somewhere. I have Barry's badge.
That's
I was walking around.
Funny. People who listen to this podcast go to SEO conferences. They're going to do that.
You should totally do that.
People are going to do that.
I mean, don't do it to people who'll be mad at you for doing it. Like, do it to your friends because it's funny, but don't.
This method of marketing is so effective, I had to make sure it wasn't against Google's rules before I kept doing it. It's a form of SEO I call compact keywords. Whereas most SEO focuses on putting up articles to answer questions how, what, when, compact keywords focuses on putting up dozens of pages that sell to searchers who are actually looking to buy. These pages rank on Google and convert so much better than normal that when I discovered this years ago, I couldn't believe this was allowed. It's less work too. The average compact keywords page is only 415 words. Compact Keywords is a 13-hour deep course on getting sales with SEO. A customer recently said, "Each lesson is dense with information. You're giving years worth of experience boiled down into 15 to 30-minute lessons with no filler or fluff. I feel like I'm gaining a new superpower." Compact Keywords is about setting up an SEO funnel that brings you sales for years and years and years. It works with AI, it's less work than traditional SEO, and it makes way more money. You can get it now at compactkeywords.com. Back to the podcast.
That's going to be...
I had a giant cardboard cutout of Barry at Brighton SEO.
You did?
So when I was at Wix, we headlined Brighton SEO, and we wanted to do something engaging at the booth. I'm like, everyone loves Barry. Why don't we get a giant cutout of Barry, a life-size cutout of Barry, and do a cornhole game? And like, we get it into the hole.
That's funny.
It's new.
That's funny.
And it was great because people took pictures with Barry and with the Wix logo in the background. He actually posed for the picture. I had to really fight Wix to do that. Like, no, why do you want to do that? And I'm like, no, people will love this. Trust me.
That was smart.
That was great.
Yeah, because you're trying to make Wix seem more SEO friendly, and so you're associating Wix with a legend in search engine optimization, Barry Schwartz.
There you go. Also, winning conferences from a brand point of view, if you're a sponsor, is about the social media. So if you can get people posting on social media, so literally Barry was set up with the Wix logo right in back of him, and people were taking pictures with hugging Barry.
Dude, I wanted to ask you about because I saw you posting about how Temu has how Temu is not performing in LLMs. It's not getting visibility in LLMs because their brand is trash, or they've had you said something like that. You can correct me.
Yeah, no, their brand is trash, and then they're a trash company. Is that okay to say?
That's okay to say. That's okay to say. And as a result, though, they're not getting recommended in LLMs.
Yeah, you could. So I didn't do a deep dive. I want to do a deep dive onto this. I want to do a deep dive into Starbucks, and I want to do a deep dive into Disney, which looks like a disaster, by the way. Which, if you look at, do you know Also Asked, which is a great tool?
No.
Mark Williams Cook over at Candor. So he has a tool called Also Ask, and it basically mines People Also Asks data. So you open up the People Also Ask, it just expands into more and more questions. So it just expands into a tree, so you can see topically, if I open up this box, this is where it goes next.
Yeah.
And you put in Disney. I think I still have it open from last week.
And it goes, why is Disney recommending buy Black Hat link packages?
Yeah. Right. It's that. And the first question is, why are people canceling Hulu and Disney Plus?
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. First question.
Wow. That's the first question?
First question when I pull this last week.
I wonder how that will affect. I wonder how this will affect Disney's performance within LLMs.
Probably that's what I want to look into. Probably not good, and I think they're getting conflated with a Hulu shutdown, and it's confusing the crap out of people.
Dude, that's one of the things. Actually, I'd love for you to talk more about how important brand is for SEO, because it's one of these, like, when you look at a lot of people who are just, maybe they're into SEO, they're new in SEO, or they've been in SEO for a while. And something that people don't think about is brand actually matters. Like, brand makes a difference. You want branded searches. You want people talking about you. You want even unlinked brand mentions.
Yeah. I mean, first off, is it the goal? Like, the goal isn't to run around the internet screaming at the top of your lungs, buy my stuff. Like, that should not be your goal. The goal should be that people go to the browser and type your domain in, and just bypass everything. No algorithms needed, no competitors to deal with. They just know you're the solution, and they go there, like Amazon or Netflix. Isn't that the goal?
That's the goal. But if I'm like the average if I'm like the average frustrated SEO listening, I'm going to be like, yeah, but that's really hard to do to build up a brand like that.
Oh yeah, no, not most of the time, not possible. But at least you should understand, like that's really what you'd rather be doing than chasing around the internets with your like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to optimize for keywords. Which I'm not saying you shouldn't do. That's what you should do because how many people are Hulu or Disney or no, you don't want to be them. How many people are Netflix?
I don't know if you want to be them either, but go on.
Yeah, that's also a good question. Also, ESPN, by the way, is another great one. The whole betting thing. Wow, that was
Really?
also a disaster. Yeah, because they don't show up for betting stuff, and I saw it in the LLMs, and then the next day they posted or they announced that they're shutting down ESPN Bet, whatever it was
Wow.
called, another partner
Wow.
of the DraftKings.
Wow.
So you can literally see
Wow.
the play out.
Yeah, wow.
You want, first off, the way that the human psychology works is you want connection. You need connection, and that not most things in life are not purely transactional, but the connection is a real thing, and that's basically and that's marketing. Marketing is communicating and connecting. So you fundamentally need that. And what SEOs have done for a long time is pretty much crapped all over direct traffic and branded searches. I understand the direct traffic thing. That was a black hole of unattributed information, so whatever. But direct traffic, besides that, is also brand traffic. There's people going to your website, and you want to see trends going upwards. And the same thing for branded searches. You want people putting... By the way, that's a signal. Like, Google's not stupid. It knows Nike shoes, Nike best shoes, Nike best sportswear. It sees all that and assimilates that. Forget like LLMs for a second. So that's really important stuff. And you want to see that because that's how the funnel 8 years ago, Google wrote a post like the funnel's messy.
Yeah.
And Rand Fishkin, who has been on your show a bunch of times, who's great,
Yeah.
has talked about this. You know, he's been the loudest voice, and the attribution game has been a disaster for a long time. But it's a drug that SEOs can't seem to get off of. And sidebar, you're gonna have to reel me in sometimes, so I apologize. Sidebar onto that is I think what's happening in the industry. What's happening is that we got addicted to attribution, or not just attribution, direct KPIs. Right? I rank. There's impressions. There's clicks. There's CTRs. There's all this stuff. There's traffic, and then there's conversions. That has been true for a long time, but LLMs really accentuate that point. And SEOs and performance marketers in general are having a little bit of a hard time coming to that center of, okay, it's not about that the same way as it used to be. It's much more holistic. It's a lot more inclusive about.
So you think so you're saying that getting visibility within AI is different from normal SEO.
Oh, we're doing okay.
Well, you just said it.
No,
just said
yes. No, yes. Okay. So, and I'm going to piss everybody off saying this because it's true. And I think the classic answer is it depends. There are SEOs who are very holistic in their outlook on doing SEO. Lily Ray, Glenn Gabe, those are people who are of a very much authority-based, authority-centric approach to SEO. And that really does overlap with a lot of the things that you want to do for, say, brand building, which leads into LLMs. It's not 100% the same thing. It's very close to similar overlaps, might be a good starting point, but building up a brand as someone who's done both, who's worked on the SEO side and a lot on the brand side, it's a little bit of a different ball game. So I wouldn't call it GEO. I don't like the optimization thing. I think the optimization aspect of AEO, GEO kind of pigeonholes the whole activity into some sort of optimization thing when it's really much, much different than that. But yeah, there is a strong basis in what we'll call authority-based or authority-centric SEO. But it's not the same thing. I don't think anyone would think it's the same thing.
An authority-centric SEO, which is different from somewhat different. That is different from because authority-centric SEO is not measuring branded searches. It's not measuring unlinked brand mentions. It's measuring the amount of backlinks and the quality of the backlinks that you have.
Yeah, and it's measured just topically speaking, where I can see Google understands that I relate to this topic. It sees me as an authority in this topic. It sees me as relevant in this topic. And now it's ranking me, so I can see like this folder, the rankings stink. This folder, the rankings are great because Google really sees me as relevant for this topic.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and topical authority is huge. My whole thing is I'm just like, you know, like the best way to get crazy results with SEO, as in crazy results meaning to rank for keywords that are very, very competitive, that where lots of other websites are targeting those keywords. If you have a strong brand, you are also going to just normally have high domain authority. And then you will be, assuming you target the keyword properly, you will be able to rank for it. And if you are doing those things, you will also show up very favorably within LLMs. That's the way that I look at it.
Yes, that's the way I look at it. And like, that's where I think the SEO is having a hard time, because what you're basically saying is that brand impacts performance, which doesn't sound like a novel idea.
No.
But it's incredibly novel in the performance industry because we just haven't been focused on it.
In the performance industry. Yeah, you're right.
And there's now a lot of talk around, oh, you need brand, you need brand, you need brand. As if like there's some kind of like you wave a magic wand and like you focus on brand awareness and suddenly you've produced brand awareness. It doesn't work like that. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. It's doing social. It's doing sometimes events. It's like responding to people and giving people a good, literally like impression with your brand.
It's everything. Everything your brand does. Everything you do.
Yeah.
Everything. It's all subliminal signals about who you are and what you do and if you're trustworthy. And most of it's not very manifest content. To get Freudy is more latent. It's much more on the latent content. And I have two things I want to do. I've said this before, and if you heard me, like, sorry to repeat myself, but there's two things I really want to do in my life. One is go to every single baseball stadium in a single season.
Wow.
Yeah, before I die, that's my thing. When I retire, that's what I want to do. Yeah, it's just like, all right, that's an interesting goal. And the other goal is I want to go around to every Fortune 500 CEO and ask them, what's your brand identity? And just sit there and laugh as they like stumble through. Oh, well, we're a platform for. Yeah. And that's really where it starts, because you can't have a brand.
Mordy,
have a brand.
What's your brand identity?
My brand identity is being able to leverage the momentum around branding into performance.
Wow.
That's what I'm about.
Cool.
And adding and doing that with a layer of depth, because it requires a layer of depth in order to do it.
Do you think about marketing activities that are better for brand than other like, do you ever think like, you know what, I could do this, but this would get me so much better results, like in terms of like marketing tactics or methods or platforms?
I'll talk about my own marketing.
Yeah.
There are definitely times where I can go after, I could probably get more, I don't know, like likes or comments if I said this or I spoke about this or I did this. But I'm not thinking about it like that. Someone's asked, are you looking like, I said, I'm not even thinking about likes on social media. What I'm thinking about is compound over time. Do people have an understanding of what it is that I do and what I'm all about? And that plays off the quicker, more immediate wins. I don't necessarily get as much as I couldn't, but the longer wins, like getting on this podcast, I get.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. No, dude. That's like my biggest frustration with just, I would say, like the entrepreneur world in general. It's that everybody has shiny object syndrome, and they don't realize that they spend so much time just like bouncing around like ping pong balls from idea to idea, from niche to niche, not even staying in the same niche. Like they build up knowledge in one niche, they build up a name in one niche. They go, I'm not growing fast enough, but this idea seems really cool. And they'll go to a new niche, do the same thing. 6 months later, new niche. And it's like, you did that 3 times. If you had just stuck for one thing for a year and a half, you will be shocked at what you can do.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can I talk a little? What can I say that it's not going to piss people off?
Uh-oh. Sorry in advance to the listeners and viewers.
Yeah. If you look at a lot of publicly traded companies, some of them might rhyme with mix. and and you look at where they've gone and what they do, they ping pong back and forth. And first off, it's not, oh my gosh, you're terrible, you're not good at marketing, or you're not good at this. It's that, especially when you're talking about a publicly traded company, the stock valuation drives so much of the decision making. And I just did a whole article about this on Search Engine Land. If you want to spend like 30 minutes reading through like a whole bunch of nonsense about how Google is running a duplicate product and search is costing them tons of money because they made decisions based upon stock valuation and not about actual product and users.
Wait, what is this? Can you just share this really fast?
Yeah, it's on Search Engine Land. It's like, I think it's called The Inevitable Corrections Coming to LLMs. I gotta find it. Hold on.
Oh my gosh. What's you can just share the idea behind it.
Yeah, so basically it's that Google's running AI overviews and it's running AI mode. It's a duplicate product.
Yeah.
And it costs a ton of money.
Why are they doing that?
Why would they do that? That seems crazy. It's because in 2023, Bing, I don't know if your listeners remember this, you probably definitely remember this, Bing beat them to the punch.
I remember it.
And announced Copilot.
I was using it all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
And so Copilot was the thing. And then Google did what big companies do, is they try to market themselves out of a product problem. And they announced a live from Paris event.
So you're not worried about worried is wrong word. So do you think AI mode will become the default for Google?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
But I do. But I don't think it'll look like AI mode.
What will it look like?
As it is now. I think it'll look like when they originally announced Gemini, they had a demo, and part of the demo was wrong information and lies, but there was a part of the demo that was someone running a query about, like, I don't know, it's my kid's birthday party, and I want to, throw the best birthday party. I need a cake. What do I? And it showed results in a visual way based upon the type of the query, and then it ran a different query, and the way that it structured it was different, and the way that it presented the information was different based upon the type of the query. I think that's where we're headed, and I'm not. If that sounds crazy, it sounds like what I'm basically describing is AI summation combined with a content portal. And I'm going to back it up with something Liz Reed, who's the head of search at Google, who's going to get thrown under the bus at some point, because that's what Google does with the heads of search, inevitably, said it in the Wall Street Journal podcast a couple of weeks ago, which was, they asked her about, the usual question, those clicks, and people aren't going to websites anymore. And she said people really want to go to the original source, into the podcast, into the this, into the that. And that predated AI. And they realized that, which, by the way, that was a whole narrative shift. She wasn't talking like that for a long time. And I think what they do with AI mode is, obviously they're moving it into the main search results. They said that. But I think first off, if you're smart about it, right now it's a one-to-one to ChatGPT. Why wouldn't you differentiate it as a product? And I think Google is very, very good, historically, very, very good at understanding user trends. And if Liz Reed is talking about that as a user trend, then that will be incorporated into what they do with AI mode.
What does it look like? You're saying that, like, it's referencing a certain part in this podcast, and then you can click the link, and then it goes to the exact timestamp.
It looks like AI mode and a knowledge panel mixed together, where I can go to a podcast. But I can ask a follow-up. Like, I don't want this episode. Is there an episode about, I don't know, this?
Yeah.
And it'll answer back, yeah, sure. Yeah. Here's an episode about this. So it's sort of those two things merging together.
How soon do you think AI mode will become the default?
They seem like, I don't know how to answer that, because they seem like they're lost.
Dude, I don't think it's going to become the default, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Okay. I don't think it'll happen at all. So I had Charles Float on this show. Charles Float said that as soon as Google can figure out how to be profitable with ads on AI mode, like how to make enough money, more or maybe more money than traditional search ads, they'll switch to AI mode. Here's my thing about AI mode. Is, like, AI hallucinates a lot. Not like with every LLM, AI hallucinates a ton. And I just don't. I think it's going to be a while before the product is good enough to make it the default. And you see that, like if you follow, like you mentioned, Lily Ray is always sharing crazy hallucinations that is happening with AI. I mean, I use AI myself. I use AI every day for everything that I do, and it is some bad hallucinations. And
yeah, that's a great point.
And here's the thing, like we are tech people. We understand what a hallucination is. Like the listeners of the show are tech people. Viewers of the show are tech people. We understand what a hallucination is, and we're kind of good at recognizing them. Most people in the world are not us, and will literally take what AI tells them verbatim. And it is very, 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 it's scary what can happen. And so you mentioned that Google cares about product. I also believe, people don't like me because I say this, I believe that Google cares about product. I believe that Google cares about product so much, and that's why they like prioritize Reddit in the results, because a lot of people were adding plus Reddit to their searches. Reddit was giving answers faster. They were more trustworthy. They were more engaging. And so Google, who cares about product, chose Reddit. People will disagree with me on that. That's what I believe.
No, well, they basically said that they had a blog post where they announced they wanted to first experience first-person content in the search results, and then they realized that for the past 20 years they weren't incentivizing that, so it didn't exist. So they had to fire hose Reddit in.
There we go. There we go. So anyway, I think AI mode, it's just going to be a while, like a long time, before the results are trustworthy enough that Google will make it the default. I don't think it's a money issue, and I do agree. I agree that they made AI mode in the first place because it was a reaction. It was a reactionary move. Though that's my thoughts on AI mode.
That's not first of all, that's not crazy. I slightly disagree. And here's hello SEO world. You can have disagreements with people and still be respectful and have a conversation about it. Try that for a minute.
You disagree with me? What? Get off the
podcast. No, SEO is GEO. Okay. I agree. First off, yes, very much. That's part of my article is about, is that the corrections coming are going to come because of the hype mode is going to die down because the product's not there. I'll give you a great example. I was at Spotlight in Amsterdam, Semrush's conference, and I asked, do I need to buy an adapter for my plug? And I already have a European, like I live in Israel, like my plugs are already European-ish, but I didn't know if Amsterdam was different. And it said, yeah, you need a different one. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go buy it. I just bought a universal like thing, spent $10 on it. Turns out no. Turns out my regular plug's right in. I will never trust AI again. And normally I would verify AI because I know that AI is hallucinating.
That's a simple thing that you wouldn't even expect AI to get wrong. That's a very simple
No, you know why I got it wrong? Because there's a different kind of plug. There's like the 2-prong plug and the 3-prong plug. The 2-prong plug totally works. Amsterdam, I guess, or Europe doesn't have the 3-prong.
Dude, I've been traveling through Europe for the last 6 years. Like most countries are using the two prongs.
Yeah, it's only for like appliances here. Like yeah, if I was schlepping my refrigerator to Amsterdam with me. Yeah. But I didn't know. I was really rushing around. I didn't have a lot of time, so I just trusted the AI.
Yep.
But now I know not to. And that's real. That's a brand problem. That's a brand problem that comes from the product not being where it's at. I do think those are where I slightly disagree. That Google's like they're already in. Everyone's in on this. And they're going to and there's enough of a demand for, and whether it be because people are just stupid or whatever it is, there's enough of a demand for that summative output to be there, or that conversational output to be there in some way, shape, or form. So I do think they put AI search, AI mode onto the main results, but I do think that they know what people are doing. They know people are verifying. This, Datos data, Rand Fishkin was talking about, everyone's talking about this. Everyone verifies. You see the LLM output. I didn't verify. I was out of time.
Okay.
But normally I do, by the way.
Okay.
Because it's copy, paste, click, throw into Google. Like, what's the difference? Like, the barrier to do it is so easy.
Is there a lot of data that people are verifying? Well, let me ask
Yeah.
you this: when AI mode is the default, where are people manually clicking into another tab in order to or people going to like another thing within Google in order to verify?
So I think the Reddit, like, so in my
Or
mind,
it'll be combined.
there'll be a thing right there for Reddit. So you could see the output from AI. You click on the Reddit, it doesn't have to be Reddit, whatever
I
it is.
understand.
YouTube.
I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying, but I don't know. I kind of disagree that I think you are underestimating how lazy people are. The
Well, that
average
could be
person.
true.
I think you're underestimating how lazy the average person is. I'm curious about that data though. You said that like a majority of people who are using AI are verifying.
Yeah, and now I gotta find it. It was I think originally Datos Data, Search Engine Land reported on it. Rand Fishkin was talking about it.
Was it in their
Someone,
Q3 report?
it's like all mush in my head,
Okay.
and then I posted about it on LinkedIn. I'll try to find it for you. And then someone from oh, what's the name? All these LLM visibility tools now. Athena, I think.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. It's
Yeah.
the whole other spicy conversation we could have about the value of half of these things.
Oh shoot.
He's saying, yeah, our data shows that like, X amount of users are verifying. But that's, by the way, where like data's or clickstream data is really handy, and I think it's a huge part of the equation. I don't know why people aren't talking more about it, because it shows you what they did next, and they come back. I have a thing here. Hold on, I have a thing here. Don't judge me by the presentation of this. This is from. I'm not just plugging. This is Datos put out a whole.
Dude, I had
pamphlet.
the SVP of marketing at Datos
Yeah,
on the podcast last week.
Eli Goodman.
Well, no,
Yes.
he's a CEO, and I had him on the show as well. No, I had on Belinda Conde, who's the.
Oh, Belinda, yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah. So like they'll go through, like you can't see it here, but like it's going through like the user journey where like they go to the LLM, then they go, and then they come back to the LLM further down the funnel. It's cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I still just like, I don't know. I feel like that's not for important things. People will verify. Are you looking up the data right now?
I'm looking up like, yeah, there's a thing like, do people trust AI results from Search Engine Land? There was like
I'm just thinking about like the average people who I know I'm just thinking about like the average Google user. So I don't know. I'm not bullish.
yeah,
Also,
no, that's a good point.
Also, I don't think
That's a really good
this is a
point.
crazy take. I don't think the results will become dramatically better. I don't think there will be dramatically less hallucinations. And I think we're actually reaching a point at how good generative AI will become unless there is more time put into searches. And even then, there will still be issues. And I think that the tech CEOs who are like AGI in 5 years, I think they're just saying that to get funding from stupid investors.
Yeah, that's what this whole thing is about. It's all about money. Follow the money. Everyone is just promoting these things.
Dude, I was in blockchain in 2018. I ran the biggest blockchain meetup in the world. We made the first video game in blockchain. Like we made like Pokemon on the blockchain, made the first
Sweet.
video game in blockchain. Really, it popped off. It was great. But I saw it firsthand. Existing companies would add blockchain to their name and they would be able to raise a lot more money. And I'm like, okay, man, I have this like conversation with every guest who comes on the show. I'm not saying like AI isn't valuable. I'm just saying that there is so much irrationality around it
Correct.
right now that people are throwing money at things that they shouldn't throw money at. And people, investors especially, need time. The world needs time to figure out how things are going to go, and everyone's just they're kind of like making bets at the casino.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I don't know, this stuff shows up on my YouTube feed, like CNBC kind of stuff. The big conversation now is the AI bubble.
Dude,
Like,
I've been
that's a
talking
real
about this for
conversation.
months. I've been talking about this. Yeah,
they're just catching up to you now.
It was just because the reason it was so clear to me is because I was in crypto in 2018 and I saw this bubble in 2018 and I'm like, okay, this is the same thing. It's the same exact behavior. It's what happened with NFTs a couple of years ago. It's the same. It's the
This is
same
the real
exact
estate
behavior.
boom and bust in 2008. It's the same thing. I was in real estate at that
Oh,
time.
were you?
Which is a whole, yeah, that
In
was
New
a whole
York?
different, in New York.
Oh, man.
I was a CEO for a property management company in New York in a lifetime ago. And we were losing buildings in receivership to a bank and then taking buildings in on receivership from the same bank. So we were losing buildings in foreclosureship and then managing buildings that were foreclosed on by banks. Like the whole thing was insane.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of, this whole thing reminds me of that. By the way, the stat is 11% of consumers trust the first tool they use when searching online. That means nearly 9 in 10 Americans double check or expand their search elsewhere because they don't trust the first answer, according to a new survey. This is from Yext.
Okay, I'll trust that.
No,
That's pretty good.
But to your point, I agree with you. It really,
Yeah, but here's the thing. But also, like, what does double checking in AI, in like an AI first world, look like? It might mean just asking follow-up questions,
or going to another AI.
or going to another AI. So
Yeah, it's a great point.
I'm really, and I'm not saying this because, okay, if I was to play devil's advocate with myself, if I was to be the skeptical listener of my own show, I'd be like, Edward, you have an SEO podcast. You sell an SEO course. Of course you're going to say SEO is going to be around for a long time. Of course you say that AI mode isn't going to become the default. I just personally, I use ChatGPT for some things, and then I use Google for other things. And I don't want Google to be, and also I never use AI mode. I
That's
rarely
interesting.
have
I
a
moved
good
to AI mode.
Do you use it often?
Yeah, because it's right there. So I'll just like, hey, what does it have to say?
Okay.
And then I go back.
I use AI overviews.
That's why I think, by the way, Google
I use AI overviews.
wins.
I use AI overviews. AI overviews are great, but yeah.
It's good for what I feel like it's good for what it's good for, and it's not good for what it's not good for. But I think, to circle back to a point you said before, I think you're right. I think the tech is not there, and I don't think it's going to get there very soon. Which is not to say that I don't think the tech in its current form is useful. I think it's very useful for certain things, but I don't think it's a be all end all. And also, this whole thing of like, is it AI? Is it SEO? Is like saying, is it search or is it social media?
Yeah, at the end of the day, people are always going to search.
Both.
People are always going to search. Two, if people actually get fearful and ditch SEO because like they think AI mode's going to take over, whatever, less competitors. So I don't care.
What does that even? Yeah, I don't know. What does that even mean? Because someone explain this to me. LLMs are not a conversion channel. I mean, I know that ChatGPT is trying to like weave in shopping, and I get they're trying to be, but it's not a convert. So you have to move somewhere,
Yeah, you have to go somewhere
in order to convert. And
I think the whole FOMO is it will just be too hard. It will be too hard. You will need too many brand mentions for a startup to actually be seen with. That with AI, that's the not FOMO. That's the FUD. Sorry, not FOMO. That's the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, doubt that exists with AI, with an AI first SERP, which we kind of already have with AI overviews. But yeah, that's
and that's legit.
Yeah. I think that's what that's what the FUD is. Is it legit though? Because the thing is, if you're targeting these conversion-based keywords, which is entirely what my SEO method is about. If you are targeting these conversion-based keywords, there's a lot of people who don't target them. And just by virtue of targeting them and doing like normal marketing, you will rank for them.
Well, that's the rub, right? If you're trying to get at, let's just talk about it on the brand side. If you're trying to build this brand, you're trying to, I don't know, you're going to be the next streaming platform. To get to the point where you're going to be a Netflix or an Apple TV will take you tons of money and years, which performance marketers are not. What'd you say? You say years and not days?
It's not even just years and money. You also need to make the right decisions. But
yes, decisions, product. Like Apple's a good example of this. Apple is this is a good example of how maybe you should go about your own marketing. Apple is very deliberate in its content that it creates. And I don't currently have an Apple subscription, but I am going to get one again because there's a whole bunch of shows on my list that I really want to watch. And as soon as I have time to watch them, I'm going to sign up for Apple because I know to go there for a certain type of content. I like sci-fi. And I know like they put out really good
sci-fi.
quality sci-fi.
That's interesting.
Great.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they put out some amazing sci-fi series.
Do you read? Oh my gosh, we're gonna get off subject. Do you read any sci-fi?
No,
Or
I just watch it.
Oh, okay. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, especially science fiction audiobooks. Man, Project Hail Mary, completely recommend. Bobiverse, completely recommend. Red Rising, oh my gosh, listen to Red Rising graphic audio. It has 15 voice actors, sound effects, and music. It is a movie.
That's cool.
It is a movie in your mind.
That's cool.
It is crazy.
I never thought of an audiobook
and
like
Red
that.
Rising,
That's cool.
the Red Rising. Anyone who's listened or read Red Rising will comment and be like, Red Rising's legit. Yeah, but yeah.
All right, so now that's on my list.
Red Rising graphic audio. But okay, yeah. So brand.
They have a niche. They built up that niche around, and that's how they sort of differentiated themselves a little bit from, let's say, a Netflix or Disney or a Hulu or whatever. And that's smart. When you're trying to build up a brand, whatever it is that you're trying to build up, whatever product or service you offer, you're trying to do the same thing. Like you really have to have that strong identity, and that's where it comes into that identity. It goes back to my, I want to ask all these Fortune 500 companies about identity, because that's where you get off the rails. That's where you start making bad decisions. You start making good decisions. The thing that you need to make good decisions, in my opinion, is to have really good, strong brand identity. Because then you know, okay, this thing looks really attractive, not in our wheelhouse. This thing is in our wheelhouse, but we need a little bit of a pivot next year. Let's build up to that. But I remember doing a landing page for Wix Studio about like their SEO capability. I was doing a whole bunch of research, and it was right when the whole AI thing started. And everyone has added AI immediately to their LPs. I'm like, wow, that was quick. But you see now that a lot of these companies have gone off the rails a little bit. Their product offering is confusing. I don't know exactly what you're offering. I was looking at one, they're an analytics kind of company, and it has a bunch of AI stuff. I don't know what you do.
That's what I'm saying. Why are all of these companies shoehorning in AI features that nobody wants?
Because no one sits down and says, you know what? Like, who are we? What are we about? Why are we doing this? Why is this meaningful? And therefore, who are we for? And because we're for X audience, what actually fits into their lives from our product, point of view, or from a service point of view?
Not enough
no one does that. There's no KPI for that.
Yeah.
You know what there's a KPI for? Messaging frameworks. Because then I can use that on social. I can get likes and shares.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let me ask you. Biggest SEOL of 2025. It could be a company. It could be a method. Biggest SEO loss of 2025.
It's got to be I hate saying this because there are probably a lot of companies who are doing very well with this, but it's got to be affiliates.
Oh, man.
Because the AI overviews or the ChatGPTs of the world, like I was talking about this with Nick Leroy in a podcast I was doing with him about NerdWallet. And that was their whole...
I covered NerdWallet. I don't even remember what I said, but I covered what can you
Yeah, they had a great strategy around SEO. They did some really cool things. You could see their SEO traffic going up. And if you know NerdWallet's model, it's basically best credit card for traveling to Asia.
Right.
And they would get the refer. You would click on the result. They would rank number one. You click on the result. You click on, I don't know, the Capital One card, and Capital One. You'd sign up for the Capital One card, and they would get a referral. But now AI mode or AI overviews or whatever just tells you Capital One.
Dude, I was gonna say my biggest SEOL of 2025 was top of funnel SEO, clicks to top, and it is kind of similar because the ways that a lot of SEO affiliates monetize is they target high traffic, top of funnel keywords with blog posts, and then they have affiliate links in the blog posts. And and AI overviews it cuts clicks by I think 34.5%, that's from Ahrefs, and
it's a ton.
I will say that I know that affiliates who are targeting bottom of funnel keywords are doing very well.
So that's why I was like the caveat. There probably are people who are doing this. I don't want to say the right way, but the right way meaning like aligning to what the current ecosystem better allows for.
Bottom of funnel has always been the way to go. People just don't do it because it's not sexy. And the reason it's not sexy is because true bottom of funnel keywords where people really know exactly what they want and they're just looking for a brand to give them what they want, those have a lot less search volume. Yeah. And so it doesn't look sexy. What people don't realize is that they convert so mind-numbingly well because like literally people are searching with intent to spend money and purchase or call somebody or use something. So they convert so well. People don't think about that. It's just they look at the search volume. They're like, there's no search volume here. And, but yeah, so bottom of funnel SEO.
Bottom of funnel has always been like being as specific as you possibly can be. Forget to generalize this. Marketers have been doing that forever. Let's go viral.
Oh yeah, that's true. Marketers have been doing that forever. Dude, I was like an early viral video producer on YouTube. This was in 2009. Nice. I was making viral videos on YouTube. And then I did the whole ping pong thing like a dummy.
Everyone does the ping pong thing at a certain point. It's called figuring out life.
It's called figuring out life, but it's like I'm back on YouTube. What if I had just stuck to YouTube in 2009? I ping ponged. I like an idiot. I want people to listen to this and be like, am I ping ponging in my life? I hope you're not. I think everyone who knows me or who knows my brand knows Edward does not ping pong. Because this is literally 862 days in a row doing this podcast. I've done social videos for 1,400 days in a row. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to stick with it. And it's going to be, the brand is becoming pretty big and it's going to it's only going to become bigger. And
that should be your tagline.
Dude, my handle on X is Edward each day. Each day.
Nice.
That's my handle on X.
There's something to consistency, cadence equals momentum, and I don't think people realize
momentum,
that.
But also it's like you are always going to make mistakes, and if you go to a new niche, you are ditching all of those learnings that you got, and now you have to learn all over again. So you want the only way to make less mistakes is to make the mistakes and learn from them, or to learn from other people who have made the mistakes. But if you stick with one thing, you meet those people who have made those mistakes and they can tell you what not to do, and you make those mistakes yourself, and then you're able to learn from them, and then eventually you just know the right things to do. And you'll continue making mistakes, but you're going to make a lot less mistakes, and you're going to do a lot more of the right things. And audience really compounds. So I love brand building.
Compounds.
I love brand building because audience compounds, top of mind awareness compounds. And it is crazy the level to which top of mind awareness can compound. It is it is insane. Read for anyone watching or listening, check out How to Do Great Work by Paul Graham. And he has this you could search the page for the word compound, and he talks about this. He's like, if people only understood the level to which brand compounds, everyone would just build a brand.
Yep. It's amazing. By the way, great example of this is Nike.
Go on.
Not anymore.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Go on.
But that association between the human mind is associative. So that association between Jordan's greatness, Nike's greatness. First off, it was a great moment because they're both building up at the same time. So it was a really good synergy. And that association and that energy just compounded over time to become something that I don't think either of them expected it to be.
Yeah.
But that was compounded over time.
That was compounded over time. Yeah. It's compounds. But what would you say the biggest SEOL of 2025 is in terms of a company? I don't know if you can say this. This is a real hot. I can say one, but it's kind of a.
People are gonna say HubSpot. I don't think that's necessarily true.
Okay, but HubSpot is a good example.
HubSpot is a classic example of this, but first off, HubSpot still has tons of brand recognition. A lot of the keywords that they lost weren't
bringing them money.
Yeah, that wasn't where the money was coming from. That was just, I don't know, chaff.
It was like famous quotes. That was literally articles that they were writing. They might have even had a whole quote subfolder or something.
That's a Jeopardy category. Famous quotes. I'll take famous quotes for 500,
yeah,
Alex.
But they were really writing content like this.
Whatever works.
They were
I guess.
completely no. Yeah, I had this conversation. Actually, I had this conversation with Belinda Conde
Oh, sweet.
about HubSpot. And I mean, to HubSpot's point, they for a couple of years they were getting a ridiculous amount of completely unrelated SEO traffic. So props to them.
It's not like a horrible like it is what it is. It's a thing. There's value to
And it wasn't
I don't-
completely it wasn't completely unrelated. It enforced their brand a lot.
Yeah.
It definitely helped them. I would make the argument that if they had taken that time and money and instead of making unrelated top of funnel content, they were instead making more like targeted bottom of funnel content, they'd be a lot better off. They would have made way more money in the long run.
Yeah.
But no one thinks like that. So
No, because first off, I don't think people realize what in companies, the team has an immediate KPI, and that immediate KPI, that team's KPI, and often contradicts what the long-term healthy KPI
that's true.
actually
That
is.
is so true. That's something that drives me crazy.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
And you know, it's leadership doesn't. I don't know why they don't put a stop to it.
Because
Well, they're addicted. That's why.
Well, like you said, I mean, are we talking about public companies, like stock price?
No, I don't think. I mean, public companies. It just that problem is compounded a million times over. But I don't think it's just public companies.
private
And I think
companies too.
it's
because
private companies
a
too.
lot of people don't know what to focus on, or a company gets too big, and management kind of checks out, or the founders check out a little bit. There's a million reasons.
Sometimes you really do need a
There's a million reasons for it.
Will Reynolds had a great point about this. I think I was talking to Will about it. But it's basically if the leadership has to produce numbers, right? If I'm the CMO from the CFO, whatever it is, I have to produce numbers. So it's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So unless the CEO is mature, and that's really what it comes down to, if the CEO is mature enough to say, hey, CMO, look, I know the immediate numbers are going to be X, Y, and Z, but long term, I think the better focus is on A, B, and C. Let's ignore that and let's do what's good for the company for the next 50 years, not for the next 5 months.
Yeah, I wish more people would think like this.
Good luck. Now you're trying to fix humanity.
What's the biggest time waster in SEO?
Core Web Vitals.
Dude, great answer. Yeah.
Total waste.
Yeah.
Total waste of time.
Yeah. Can you talk more about that? What,
Yeah.
like why?
Is that the thing?
That's from. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because I've literally made episodes about this, saying the same thing. But Core Web Vitals is from Google. Like Google can literally see how fast your site is. Like, and a fast site is important. What are you talking about?
The fast side is important to the extent that the user doesn't bounce. Where there's not some kind of load time where there's like, I'm out. This is annoying.
Yeah,
I am
so
leaving.
Google made a tool to tell you like how likely users are to bounce if your speed is slow.
Well, they didn't make a tool to tell you how likely they are to bounce. They made a tool because they want the web to be faster because it costs them less resources if the web is faster. So they did a whole campaign and a whole push. This is coming. I was at Wix at the time. So it was a whole thing. Oh, no, we got to like up our Core Web Vitals scores, which we did. Like the scores are great. There's no SEO. There's like study after study. Marcus Tober, Semrush did a study about. Everyone did studies about this. Barry Schwartz covered this in SEO Roundtable 4 million times. Ask him about it.
I've done studies on it.
Yeah. Okay. So you've done. It doesn't. Maybe if like I don't know in like the news space, if I'm CNN and ABC, it's the same syndicated content from Reuters that like the speed would be a factor in a real way.
Some of the websites with like the best rankings that I've seen, like crazy competitive keywords, terrible Core Web Vitals.
On purpose, by the way.
On purpose.
On purpose. Companies it's a trade-off, and this is the problem with Core Web Vitals. I think this is on an old podcast we had with Wix at the Crystal Card. We talked about this. It's a trade-off. Like if you want to make the internet faster, you need to create a technology, Google, that will make things faster without all the conversion trade-offs. Because if I really want to get Core Web Vitals nailed at 100%, I have to trade off I have to trade off scripts. I have to trade off a lot of things that are going to be good for the conversion.
Right.
I'm not trading that off to go from a 65 to a 99. Hell no. You're talking about money versus a score that Google has because John Mueller said like this was important and then he took it back saying it's not important anymore.
Oh, he did. Oh my gosh.
That was that campaign that Google did, I think, lost them so much credibility. But there's still people who buy into it.
There are.
So,
It's crazy that there are. Even
because it's
now.
measurable.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I
It says
remember the
green.
first time I made an episode about this, and like I got flamed in my comments. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? I thought everyone was going to agree with me on this. What?
The only way we can get away with talking about this is because no one cares now. Because now everyone cares about AEO, SEO
true.
versus GEO.
That's true.
So like,
Yeah.
this is like, who cares?
That's true. That's now we can get away.
Now we can get away saying correlates don't
what-
matter.
I was going to ask you huge opportunities, but you have a very unique, you'll have a very unique outlook on this. And even though this happened, I guess it was months ago now, it's still huge news. And it's removal of the and num equals 100 parameter. So this is what Ahrefs said. Ahrefs said Google just capped SERPs at 10 results. That means no more 100 result pages. This change affects every SEO rank tracker, including Ahrefs. And this was and still is huge news.
Yeah. First off, just like, like cycles and marketing kind of thing, the rank trackers have traditionally gone through lots of problems like this. I remember there was a CCTLD update, which no one remembers about this, but Google changed what would show in the results. It would try to show much more local results. So if you're in Denmark, it would show things from the, I guess, .dk is Denmark.
I'm not sure.
I should have picked one that I know.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
.de,
And
Germany.
Right. And that changed how the data centers processed queries. So the SEO tools, Ahrefs in particular, by the way, at the time, had a ginormous amount of trouble tracking rank. I know as I was at Rank Ranger, we had trouble tracking rank. So these sort of problems are, to quote Barry Schwartz, old, not new. I'm a Semrush person, so like, pardon me for saying this, but like Tim Solo coming out and saying, yeah, the only thing we care about are the top 20 results. It's just like, from a brand point of view, not smart. First off, leaving aside the fact that data is important, and the tools are tracking it. A lot of the tools are tracking it. I know SEO Ranking was very transparent about how they said, like, we have a problem, we're working. They'll figure it out. They'll deal with this, and they have dealt with it. You can still see the top 100 data. It's important data because it's good for seeing trends and where you're at. I think trends are the most, for me, the hard numbers when you're looking at data is, yes, great. The trend is the most important thing. And top 100.
Can you share how exactly this is going to affect tools like Semrush or Ahrefs, and then what is not going to be affected?
Well, okay, so one is like, it probably won't affect them because they'll figure out a way around it. Most of them already have figured out a way around it. And that's what they're good at. That's why they're the professional tools that have lasted the cycle of SEO tools. And they figured it out. Semrush is showing top 100 data. I don't know how, I don't know the secret sauce of how they're doing it.
And for listeners who don't understand, top 100 means the top 100 results when you do a search.
So if you're ranking 88, you definitely want to see that.
Yeah.
Because I want to see if I had gone from 88 to 55 for not just that keyword, for that type of keyword.
Well, you also want to see what your competitors are ranking on
also,
page 5 for.
a million
on
reasons.
Page 6 for, yeah.
There's a million reasons why that data is really important. Yeah, they figured it out. They'll figure it out, and it won't be a problem. Ahrefs, I haven't been in there in a while. I'm sure they figured it out also. I don't know why you would say top 20 matter. Also, why was I paying for this data all this time? If the top 100 wasn't important, why were you charging me for the other 80 results?
Did they say it's not important? You said,
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So then you've been charging me this whole time?
It's very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
And they're just
your
knee-jerk
take
reaction.
is if these tools haven't figured it out yet, don't worry, it's going to be figured out.
Yeah, if they figured it out at this point.
Okay.
Like if you go into Semrush, you run a domain, they're still showing you.
To be honest, aside from there was a big Google Search Console drop, I didn't really notice a huge difference.
I didn't notice a huge difference, but again, a lot of the things that I'm working on, like the top 100 wasn't as important. But I would imagine if you're a huge scale website, then that was probably a huge drop off in your data in Search Console. And it's annoying that Google did that because they're just trying to prevent their AI competitors from scraping. but the OpenAI is going to figure it out also. If Semrush is going to figure it out, OpenAI will figure it out too.
Is there anything you just like working at Semrush? Is there anything that you've been seeing in SEO lately that's been just like, whoa, this is weird. This is interesting. This is different.
I think like the thing I've noticed the most, just again, like I talk to them about their tool. I talk to them about, I do some content with them. I was at their conference. I think one of the things that people are starting to realize, look, they bought Datos.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? Like Datos is a Semrush company. Yeah. And I think what they're starting to realize, and I think what the industry is very slowly starting to realize, it's painful. I don't think we realize how painful this is for.
Oh gosh, here it comes.
Is that it's not about channels anymore the same way that it used to be. You really have to understand like the user flow.
Mordy, this is what I said to Rand when he was on the show. And I said, what I loved about when he was doing Whiteboard Fridays, I watched like everyone. And what I loved about that's one of the reasons that I do this show, because I remember how Whiteboard Friday made me feel, how it taught me, like what it taught me, how it brought me comfort when I was confused about SEO, and how it was
great
fun.
Stuff.
And I want to do that for people in 2025 and 2026. And so what I said to him is he always emphasized holistic marketing. He always emphasized this was 10 years ago.
10 years, yeah. This is not for me. This is not new. I've been doing this for 10 years. For performance people, this is where it's hard. It's hard. And Rand's right, because we were just addicted to the attribution, where we were addicted to the metric. And the funnel, everyone now is
By the way,
because
I'm not saying do less SEO.
No.
Yeah, it's good to hear that you're not saying that either. I am, but what I am saying is like set up socials, post on social a little bit, like try.
So you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket anyway.
Do some build up a newsletter. Post. You don't have to do your newsletter weekly. You could do it monthly, but send it out. Yeah.
But that's the argument that for the SEO, that doing all of those things has helped Google realize who the heck you are, what you're all about, and that you have actual authority in this space so that you can rank better. And I don't know why that's a hard idea for people to wrap their minds around, but it is. But I think you're starting to see the you
know what I would say? Here's a good example. Sorry for interrupting you. Here's a good example.
No.
If this is what I'll say. If you are doing well with SEO and you don't really have any social presence and you are considering your next hire, should you hire another SEO person or should you hire a social person? If you are already doing well with SEO and you have no social presence, I would actually say hire a social person, because that will make you do even better with SEO. You'll diversify, but again, it'll make you do even better with SEO.
Yep. Yeah, look, you're at the whim of an algorithm at the end of the day. And yeah, that algorithm is stable-ish.
I don't know. I'm also not very afraid of algorithm changes, because I have had very good experiences with SEO.
I also have very good experiences.
But the reasons that I've had very good experiences with SEO is because I've listened to Master Rand Fishkin from 10 years ago, who said build up a brand on other channels, and that's one of the first things that I do when I'm starting any brand is I build up a brand on different channels, and I'm doing SEO and I'm doing link building, but occasionally I'm also doing social posts and all this stuff.
It all works together, but that's the thing I think people are starting to see. When I would Google let's go with Nike again, new Nike shoes, and I would get a result from Google. I would see the shoe. That's it. I'm done. No, I would go to YouTube. I'd see a review. I go to the thing.
Yeah,
I would go
I'm also
to
putting up YouTube videos and targeting keywords with YouTube.
So nothing's actually, the only thing that's changed is now instead of going to YouTube, I might first go to an LLM and ask it about it, and then go to YouTube. And then check it out. And maybe they go back to the LLM and then go to Amazon and then go to Google Shopping now, because Google Shopping is becoming a thing. Maybe it's cheaper there. None of this is new. But I think marketers are slowly being forced to realize that's what's happening. You have to measure not just the direct conversion anymore or the direct channel. You have to kind of somehow figure out a way to measure it together. And I think the type of insight that LLM visibility tools offer is very different from what you're usually used to seeing. Like a keyword gap analysis. Okay, they're ranking number 10, I'm ranking number 3. Okay, I'm good. They're ranking number 3, I'm ranking number 10. Not good. The things you're pulling out of AI visibility tools, at least the ones that are doing a halfway decent job, because most of them are just like ridiculous. You're trying to pull out something, oh, that's a flag, and then going down a rabbit hole to figure out, okay, is that a real flag? Is that a hallucination? Is that a product problem? Is that a brand problem? What's the nature of the problem? How big of a problem is it? And how do I fix it? That's a very different kind of analysis than keyword gap analysis. They're 10, we're 3.
What are some crazy opportunities with SEO right now? Haha.
There's some crazy opportunities with SEO right now.
There's a lot of them.
There's tons of them. I mean, first off, search is, if you can figure out where they're going from the LLM to search, which is most of the case, according to the data that Rand put out, that people are verifying they're going, it's not one or the other, they're going to search. And you can line up, right? So they see you in the LLM, then they see you on search, and they see you in, first off, they see you in Google's LLM, and then they see you in search. You're just reinforcing. I think people think too much about like, okay, where am I ranking? Which is very important, obviously. But also the click. Like imagine, just think about it for a second. I know it's not an SEO thing, but imagine the wire cutter for a second.
Okay.
So the wire cutter, the prompts that people are searching for are not going to produce the wire cutter. They're going to produce the brands the wire cutter talks about, like best TVs. The wire cutter is not going to, Sony's going to show up. Samsung is going to show up. The wire cutter might be a citation. But if I keep doing, so I do best TVs, the wire cutter still best citation. Okay, and what's the best TV? But the remote's not, gonna get destroyed by my kids. Next prompt, wire cutter shows up. Okay, best TV for my kids with the remote control, but also has the best sound. Wire cutter shows up again. At a certain point, I'm gonna keep seeing the wire cutter, like feature snippets. We said, oh yeah, it's a brand play also. At a certain point, I'm gonna see the wire cutter, and I'm gonna go to the wire cutter, and I'm gonna click on the citation, or I'm going to Google them. And I'm going to see what the hell is going on with them because they just keep showing up everywhere. I think that's a huge SEO play.
Yeah, but that's hard. That's not even
Super hard.
That's not low hanging fruit.
Oh, you want low hanging fruit?
Oh, yeah, low hanging fruit. But to your point, also Rand came on the show and he said the exact same thing. He's like,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he said literally the exact same thing that you said, which is you want people to see, even if they're not clicking, they're still seeing your brand
over and over and over again. And it's hard, and it requires it. Who's thinking about an LLM in that way, where you're thinking about? I saw I forgot who it was, posting about, yeah, don't just think about the first prompt, but about the follow-up prompt. Oh, novel idea. There's follow-up prompts. We should be thinking. It's hard for whatever reason, and there's a whole
different conversation. That's SEO. I literally posted that today, which is don't just think about like satisfying the keyword that you're targeting. Think about once it's satisfied, what are people going to want next, and then give that to them on the same page. And then you're there again. Yeah, give it to them on the same exact page.
If someone's searching for like, I don't know, like how do I change a tire, right? And you show up, there's a good chance that they're going to need a new tire because they're just changing a dummy tire. So now they need a new tire. Now, most people are not mechanics. They're not going to like buy a tire themselves, but let's just assume for a minute that they are in this example.
Okay.
And then they search for, okay, what's the best tire to replace the dummy tire with? And then you show up again. You might not, and you could be number 3, but they liked your blog post and so they click on you because they already know you.
Oh, sure. But I'm saying something, I'm just saying like literally, like predict. Okay, so think about what your ICP will want, what your target searcher will want. Give that to them right there once they get on your page as soon as possible above the fold. Give it to them right away. But then think about, okay, now that I've given them what they want, what are they going to want next? What might they go back to Google or follow-up question for? And just write it there on your page.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the predictive need. I don't know when I would roar about this a long time ago, but good marketing, good SEO is about predictive need. Like, what's the predictive need of in the post itself, right? What are they? If you're writing about X, what's the next question that they're going to have that they're going to need that they don't go back to Google, do another search and find somebody else?
Let's say you want to start a new brand selling washing machines. That's what came to mind.
Okay.
Washing machines. You want to start a new brand selling washing machines. You're setting up a website and you're setting up the brand. What are the first things that you do?
The first thing I do is figure out what are we all about? Like if I'm the founder of this company, let's say it's a 2-3 person company for argument's sake, just to make it really simple. Why did I get into this? Is it simply to make money? There's usually a reason why you decided I'm wanting to get into the building the washing machine business. And that's the place to start. Because why is that meaningful to you? I mean, what that usually will manifest itself somehow into the product, definitely into how you position the thing. And if you can figure that out, I don't know, it just washing machines. I just saw my family struggling to keep up with all of the laundry. I have 4 kids, so keeping up with the laundry is a thing. And we built a machine that just cuts that in time and by 10%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're managing a family and tons, that 10% is an enormous amount of time. That's where I would start. Lean into that.
Okay, so all right, writing down a mission statement, brand statement.
Yeah, but you really have to think not just okay, we're doing a brand statement. So all right, what's actually meaningful to you?
And how are we different? And why are we doing this? Yeah, but okay, yeah. But from a SEO perspective, what are you doing? What are you doing for the site? Also, are you worrying about other marketing channels at the beginning? Are you even bothering setting up socials? Or are you being I'll do that in a couple of months? Are you starting it how are you approaching building the new brand and SEO? Where are you getting links from? What order are you doing things in?
Yeah, so SEO takes a while usually to kick in, and it requires a lot of effort. You need to produce content, and content is hard. Pages are hard. And my preference is to start off on other channels while you're building up the SEO at the same time.
What does that look like?
So that could be, I was trying to think in this case, what would I would do if I was a washing machine company, local or non-local? I would start more locally, in a region.
Yeah, I guess these are big enough items that it's gonna be,
I would start off in the region that I'm in. I wouldn't start I'm just gonna go national. I'm gonna go after Maytag.
Sure, makes sense.
So that's probably what I would do is start building up in the region. Now once I'm starting,
and that's easier.
That's much easier, and then you can scale from there, right? You can we tackled I don't know the tri-state area, so New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey. Yeah, forget New Jersey. We tackle New York and Connecticut.
Oh my gosh.
Screw New Jersey.
Oh my gosh.
So then you can expand to New England. Right, because that's the next logical geographical area, and then whatever. But so then you could start doing things. Then you could start targeting local events. You could start targeting local podcasts. I hear it all the time. I'm a baseball nut. So Bath Fitters, okay? Bath Fitters sponsors the sports podcast that I don't know what Bath Fitters does. To be honest.
Well, then they're doing a
bad
job.
But I know that they exist. Yeah, they should explain a little bit more what they do.
If you don't know what they do, then they don't have the top of mind awareness. You're going to think of what they do.
But I do know that if something to do with renovating my bathroom, I'm going to probably Google Bath Fitters. Because I know that's they did do,
Okay.
They did do a way better job of explaining what the hell they actually do.
Yeah.
But being more regional opens up a lot more opportunity for you to start partnering with people. And I feel that's where you really need to start.
And real links, links that pass actual traffic, referral traffic.
Yes, because what links are fundamentally about? It's about traffic.
Yeah.
There is an SEO value, obviously, but you want traffic.
Yeah.
And once you're able to focus on a particular thing and a particular identity, a particular positioning, a particular audience, you're not focusing on the single dude living in an apartment in wherever. You're focusing on the family.
Dude,
right?
niching down is the biggest game changer. It actually blows my mind. So this podcast really only started popping off in March of this year. And what happened was I made an episode. So that was, dude, March of this year was only, I don't know, like how many days ago was that? Like,
It's like 6 months ago.
let's say like 200, let's say 200 days ago. I think it was, yeah. But dude, I had done the show for like 600 days in a row up to that point. And what happened, and I was making the show about all sorts of marketing topics, all sorts. And then I made this episode about the March update this year.
I remember that.
You saw it?
Yeah.
So it did really well. And then I asked Barry Schwartz to come on, and he came
That's
on.
when I
It was,
saw Barry
and it was a
come on,
great,
yeah.
it was a great episode. But I said, all these SEO people just started watching me because of this March update. I probably shouldn't make an episode on how Instagram's algorithm is changing. I probably should just make more SEO content. I'm very good at SEO, and I love SEO, and I have an SEO product. And yeah, I love Instagram too, but let me at least try to double down on SEO and see what happens. And my views just kept increasing.
Niching down is
down before generalizing is the biggest differentiator. Okay, so you're gonna go local with this new brand, which makes a lot of sense. How would you build links?
So my focus would be on creating partnerships.
Okay.
I don't know what, I'm not in the space, but then maybe be going to trade conferences, and I don't know, like the hooking up with the refrigerator dudes.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. And now we have like, okay, now we can do a discount, we can do a referral, we can do this, we can do content together.
Yeah. And that's a real
and all of that just starts building up. And then you talk about compounding, that's where things start compounding. Because if you get stuck in your own little bubble of like, I'm just gonna post on social, first off, who's gonna, like, even if you have amazing content, like who's listening to that? You have to start getting reach, and the only way to really get reach is to really start talking to other people.
Yeah.
And interacting with other people.
Yeah.
And community, and getting into that community. Doing things, I don't know, like if there's, local, like online, a Facebook group of the New York Fix It Up Yourself Facebook group. You're talking about how do you fix your washing machine? Like here, like, oh, it's probably your gasket and you got to change this thing out. All of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Personally, I wouldn't worry about posting in like communities at the beginning, because I think that's going to be a time suck. We talk about like,
that's true.
What
definitely be a
what are
time
the
suck.
most valuable things that you can do at the beginning?
That's a good point.
Setting up partnerships, that makes a lot of sense. That's going to get you immediate customers, and it's going to get you backlinks that actually matter. This isn't a backlink on a site on a page that's not getting any traffic. This is a backlink on an established business, on a real business that is going to pass you referral traffic. That matters a lot.
But that's where you have to figure out like the who you are part, because how many, in the region, how many washing machine companies are there? But if you have an angle, now you could sell that to the refrigerator people, to the oven people, whatever it is.
Yeah. That makes sense. You're doing local, so probably directories as well.
Yeah, and I might not just focus. I might
Semrush Local is a cool tool.
That is a cool tool.
Yeah.
That's not, people don't know a lot. It's like kind of like stuck there, like down the menu.
Yep.
You don't necessarily have to do local. Like you could become a regional, and that depends on how like your business model. Like if you could figure out regional supply chains, and you can get in on that, or you have connection to that. Like first off, the idea of just opening a business, like I'm just gonna open a washing machine because I have a great idea
Washing
about
machine.
like
I don't know. It came
no,
to my head.
whatever it is, like you need to have like some kind of.
I thought about saying SaaS, but SaaS is too easy.
SaaS is just another like whatever.
SaaS is too easy. Like,
but that's the problem. Like SaaS is a great example because I've got a great idea for SaaS.
Okay.
Great idea. First off, you run into multiple problems with SaaS. One is a great idea is great, but it's pretty similar to other ideas that are also great.
Well, that's true.
But also SaaS, I don't know why this isn't SaaS. SaaS love talking about themselves. We are the ultimate best whatever.
Yes. SaaS does the best of lists.
Yeah, I don't care. I care about me, which is selfish, but I need a solution. And I feel like SaaS just falls into that.
When you're starting a brand, at what point are you allocating time towards setting up socials and posting on socials?
I'm starting that's one of the things I'm starting right away, because first off, you just need to have a presence. And I'm not saying like you're not going to get likes, you're not going to get retweets, but setting up that social presence gives you the opportunity, it gives you the opportunity to have conversations. It gives you opportunity to, right? It just generates opportunity.
Yeah.
It's also a thing, like if you're not on social, like, well, that's weird. Why are you all not on social?
That's
like
true
it's
as
just
well.
It's just something to think about. But it's
also something that a lot of people overlook is you need to have aged social accounts. You can't just like one day wake up and you have no account and be like, yeah, I want to start posting a lot, like Edward Sturm says. Yeah. Like you actually need to have
start.
You have to have an account that has existed for a little bit, that's interacted with things. Because if you create a new account today, and like this is for a lot of people, this isn't always the case, but for a lot of people, you create an account today and then you start posting like a few times a day, you might even get banned, or you'll just get like, I see this happen all the time. So yeah, you want to have an aged, warmed up is a term. You want to have a warmed up account.
That's a good, and the lift there is not incredibly. It is what you make. You could start doing all sorts of complicated videos. You could do that, and it's a heavy lift, and I wouldn't recommend doing it from the start.
I would just do your face, show your product, talk about why you're doing this.
Yeah, show your product, talk about things. A couple of lines of value added, especially in the beginning, value added content.
What does that look like?
Yes, you want to. If it's washing machines, it's here's something you didn't know before you actually go pick the washing machine that you would never would have thought about. That's actually a huge deal. And it may not be a direct sell.
Your washing machine is costing you a huge amount of your electricity bill, and you don't even know.
Yeah, just turn to this setting.
Homeowners
if you turn to this setting, you'll
overlook
save $20 a day.
Yeah.
And you're not selling your product yet, but what you're doing is, and this is where product marketing, if you're a product marketer listening to this, you need to set up a narrative that you can insert your product marketing into. You can't just simply go out, buy my product. You have to have a narrative. You have to, and I don't think people pay enough attention to this. There has to be context. And I'll just give you an example of what that context might look like. Okay, we did a webinar about 5 quick fixes that you could do to your washing machine to save, $100 a month in electricity.
That's cool.
Right? And then a week later, you add a feature to your washing machine that saves $100 to your electricity bill. Say, hey, we did a webinar on this. If you saw that webinar, just check out the fact that we just created a feature in our product that actually now does that. Now there's context.
Dude, I love marketing. This is so much fun. Like, this is getting me hyped.
So much fun.
This is getting me hyped. Now I'm thinking about all these different things that I want to do, and I'm like, actually, that's part of the problem with shiny object syndrome, because one of the most fun things in the world is starting a new business. It really is too. It is. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. But it's too much fun. It's like you have all these ideas, and you have this long list of these ideas you wanna pop off. But also, like, if you have an existing business, coming up with new marketing ideas and having a long list, like, man, my list for like marketing things for compact keywords is through the roof, and I haven't touched a small fraction of them. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, but that's where you have to prioritize it. Like, where's the impact? What makes the most sense? Yeah.
But setting up socials, do that right away. Post like a few times. You don't have to post every day. Post a few times. The partnerships idea is awesome for getting like real valuable links. So I had on Julian Goldie, and he's like best white hat link building tactic is going on podcasts. And go on podcasts.
It's a great tactic.
I talk about this tool all the time. It's called AIPodcastMatcher.com. Connects podcast hosts we use AI to connect podcast hosts who want guests on their shows with guests who want to go on shows. Very simple. It just do that. Go on podcasts. You get links from podcasts. Then I think you could do you could find like appliance directories. You do appliance directories. And then so what is your content strategy going to look like? What is your information architecture going to look like? Are you going to even think about information architecture? Or are you just like, let's pump out blog, set up the blog, pump out content right away, five posts a week?
You know what's funny? So when someone said to me about my own thing, I was doing some consulting for a while after I left Wix, and what did I launch? I launched a resource center, like templates. And so, you didn't do a blog? I'm like, no, I'm not doing a blog yet. And the reason was I had a plan. Like, yeah, I wanted to eventually do a blog, but this got me a greater amount of into that community that I wanted to break into than the blog.
So wait. So can you talk about the templates that you were making? Like, why?
Yeah, I was just taking what I would do. Like, if I want like a brand identity framework, or a brand positioning template or checklist, or all those kind of things. And I was just putting them out there to create a certain amount of authority. And people weren't doing them. It was also like it was a litmus test for me to see like what worked, what didn't work.
So, but how are you getting people to find out about that?
That was just my social.
Okay.
Like I knew I had a channel, set up for that. And I would like a lot of times I recommend, like, first off, podcasting. And yes, you want to do the blog, but if I'm the appliance thing, I kind of want to get in. First off, podcasts are great because they show your face, they show your voice, they show your expertise. They're much more connective. I'll tell you, when we were doing the Wix SEO Hub, which is this giant resource for SEO, the webinars got the most people because we were tapping into Wix's email list, and Wix has 250 freaking million users. And then we get a lot of people, and SEO is a very, very popular topic at Wix among the user base. The thing that got the most comments and interaction, and wasn't even close in terms of actual numbers, was a podcast.
Wow.
Because the podcast, someone made me last week, I missed your podcast. I missed it too. It's a back and forth. Even though you're not having an actual back and forth with the people, you are having a conversation, and you do feel like you're part of the conversation, and it hooks you in a different way. So I would think if I'm trying to get in and into an industry and break in, I might do a podcast first about, whatever it is about washing machines that kind of makes sense for me to talk about. I have no idea about applying, whatever. And then as I'm building that up, as it gets cadence, as I'm building my business up, then you do want to focus on SEO. You do want to focus on, first off, they are going to come, forget the SEO, the people are going to come to your website and they're going to want information. And they're going to want to see that you know what the hell you're talking about. So you do want to build that up.
Where are they going to look?
But it may not be. Say again?
Where are they going to look?
They're going to look at your website.
Yeah.
No matter what happens.
Where on your website? Where might they click?
If they're resources.
They're going to look at your homepage. They're going to look at your
about page. They're going to look at your homepage. They're going to go to about page, which is the most underrated page on the entire website for a variety of reasons. One is it's the only place outside of the homepage where you can be very explicit about who you are, what you do, and why you're doing it.
I agree with that a lot. Super underrated.
Incredible. Please don't tell me the history of 1904, Grandpappy. Like, just tell me what you're about, what you do.
Then you can talk about the history. You can talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, talk about your Grandpappy too. That's part of the authority. But usually it's just like, well, Grandpap.
Start with the stuff that people really care about.
Yeah. And then they're going to look at they probably will click on your resources if it's there. Mm-hmm. And if it's not there, it'd be weird. Why are there not resources?
So what would be in the resources section?
It could be anything, right? And that just depends on your audience, what you want to focus on, what you're about, what you're good at, right? Like if you're not good at traditional blog posts, and you're really good at, like, I don't know, a microblog, or you're really good at white paper, whatever it is you're good at, do that. But they're going to want to see that you know what the hell you're talking about. And that's just another layer of like, oh, okay, that looks like a really well put together, comprehensive piece of informational content. They probably know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah. Because if you just have this, so you have like the homepage, you have the usual social proof and the companies you work with, everyone knows like that's half real and half BS. So it's yes, you want to tell them that you have the 4.5-star review. No one wants a 5-star review because everyone knows it's full of crap. You want to have the companies that you work with and all that great stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's just telling people, show me. Like, here's how you here's a do-it-yourself guide to fixing the whatever in your washing machine, and it actually works.
Oh yeah.
You just built up tremendous amount of trust.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Also, you could probably rank for that keyword.
I do that with my site, edwardstrom.com. I have, like, because I told you I post social videos. I've done it every day since November 1st, 2022. just literally like if you go on desktop in my navigation, like just as a like, it's literally, you don't have to click into anything. It's just right there. It's my exact social media posting strategy. And it says it, my exact social media posting strategy. You click it and it's step by step how I post every day. And it helps tons and tons and tons of people, builds a lot of trust. I also have, I have an article called Pareto SEO. Like a lot of people will message me and they'll be like, I'm just starting a site. What should I do? Or I started a site. What should I do? Pareto SEO. This is the 20% of SEO things that get 80% of the results. This is how you should start. It's like a free article that takes 3 minutes to read, and it helps a lot of people. And like, yeah. And what's cool is
value.
I really believe in repurposing content as well. And all of those, both of those articles originally came out as newsletters to my weekly newsletter. Yeah.
Yeah, repurposing, like why reinvent the wheel? Ross Simmons, who if you're not following him, he's
I think I am. Yeah, he's good.
He's great. His whole thing is, create once, distribute forever.
Oh
kind of
yeah,
thing.
that's a good. Yeah, I want to ask you, off the top of your head, were there any insane like SEO wins that you saw this year in 2025? I can think of some, but I'm curious, like, any companies that, like, even if they eventually like ended up burning, any companies that were just like, I can't believe this is happening.
I can't think of it on the top of my head.
The one that off the top of my head is AI Invest, which so AI Invest publishes, and I think they still do, it's AI generated financial news content, and they mass publish articles.
Wrong?
Yeah, what can go wrong? Well, so here's okay. So what they did, they literally hired, like, I think it was like a Fox News anchor, and the Fox News anchor writes on his LinkedIn, I'm hired by AI Invest to give a human element to the AI generated content. And AI Invest, they have like a really clean site. It's beautiful. The UX is amazing. The UI is amazing. They have AI products that they're selling that's integrated with their top of funnel articles. And they're actually pretty open about the fact that they're AI. And it is amazing because, so the June update rolls around. This is what happens, Mordy, and it was insane. So the June update rolls around. They're at 275,000 clicks a month from Google. In 1 month, 1 month later, so at the end of June, they are at 275,000 clicks a month from Google. At the end of 1 month later, they're at 5.5 million clicks a month from Google. A month after that, they are at 9.5 million clicks a month from Google. And then a month after that, they're at like 300,000 clicks a month from Google. And now they're around like 370,000 clicks a month from Google. So like people were like, it's your fault that they got hit. They got penalized because you were reporting them nonstop. I actually don't think, I don't think it was, I don't think, so they fell during the, I think it was the August spam update. And they fell during that. And they are still up from where they were at the beginning of June, because they were at 275,000 clicks a month. And now they're still, many months later, at 370,000 clicks a month, which is insane. But they went in 2 months from 270,000 clicks a month to 9.5 million clicks a month with AI generated financial news content. That was the biggest win that I saw this year.
Well, now Google stole their thunder, because now Google announced in finance, like they're going to offer you AI generated insights about your financial future.
Wait, can you talk about that?
Yeah, Barry just covered this yesterday, 2 days ago. But basically, in Google Finance, they've updated it, so they'll do things when there's earning calls. They'll provide transcripts of the earning calls, which is kind of cool, I guess. If that's like your thing, I just kind of want to know like the bottom line. But there's also things like they're going to do predictive, like where does GDP going to go?
Yeah,
and they do like predictive models based on AI, which I feel like, where will that go wrong?
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
Mordy, where should everybody find you?
At home, usually I'm at home. I don't like, I don't go out and about, so I'm usually at home.
Where should everybody find you on
But
social media when they want to follow your
yeah,
hot takes?
if you're not knocking on my door,
Yeah.
which by the way, sometimes I purposely don't answer when someone knocks. I'm like, I'm not answering. They'll
I think
figure it
everyone
out.
does that sometimes.
Yeah, is that horrible?
No,
I don't know. I feel like.
I do that.
By the way, there's a great meme. I gotta send this to you. Of Barry Schwartz ringing someone's doorbell.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, please-
I used it in my
please-
SMX deck. I'll send it to you.
Please send it. I'm curious.
Yeah. It was a ring cam. He was showing someone's house, and they took a picture of it.
Barry?
Yeah. Hold on. I don't. Did I still have that website?
You made a meme website based off of this?
There was. I don't think I renewed it. Oh man. Yeah, Barry. There was a bunch of memes from Barry, and someone's like, "Oh, you should." Can I share my screen?
No, don't.
Oh, I won't share. Okay.
It's too hard to edit in.
Okay. It's BarrySEOmemes.com. Just go there. And it ranks, so someone said you should get it to rank for his name. I haven't checked it in a while, but I had it up there for number 4 or 5 for Barry Schwartz SEO. Yeah.
That's a move. That's a success. To rank for Barry
That's
Schwartz's name.
greatest SEO thing I've ever done. My wife's like, what are you
How did he
doing?
feel about that? Was he cool with it?
What did Barry feel about that?
The guy who never smiles, was he cool with that?
Yeah, Barry's cool. Barry's very cool.
No, it said, was he cool with that?
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, Barry is awesome. I'm looking forward to this show. It's him in mid-December. It's him and David Quaid, and
oh, cool.
It's a show on what SEO will look like in 2026. Yeah,
sounds like a great show. And Barry's
everybody
a great guest.
needs to go and follow Mordy. You post some really good stuff on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. Just look up Mordy Oberstein. There's how many Mordy Obersteins in the world? One. So.
Yeah, and these links will also be in the description for the show. Mordy Oberstein, thank you so much again for coming to the podcast.
Dude, this is fun. Thanks for having me, man.
Dude, I hope we can do it another time. I totally understand why you are going on Barry's podcast every day,
the It's New thing. That's a lot of fun.
And your knowledge of SEO too it's great to be able to just have in-depth conversations with you about this stuff. So yeah.
So it was a lot of fun, for real. This is probably one of the more in-depth SEO conversations I've had in a while on a podcast.
Thank you, Mordy.
To be honest.
All right, everybody.
Got it.
For everyone watching and listening, this was episode, and stick around after because your video will have to upload. But for everybody watching, listening, this episode 862 of The Edward Show, 862 days in a row doing this podcast. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.